Hey everyone, happy Sunday. This is Stephanie Leah Warrington Jackson with another 5-minute Bible study. For today's topic, we are talking about vanity. When we hear the term vanity, automatically we may imagine a vanity set in our bathroom with the mirror and the sink, or even someone just obsessively looking into the mirror at oneself. But vanity is so much deeper than that. To me, vanity is one of those sins that are overlooked because we live in a society that thrives in it. Beauty, fashion, money, flawlessness, all which have become an excessive norm in society. Vanity, in simple terms, is self-idolatry. The Bible warns us in 2 Timothy 3, verses 1 through 5, that in the end times there will be so much more vanity. The scriptures uses words like lovers of themselves, boastful, proud, conceited, and lovers of pleasure to describe the attitudes and mindsets of people. Sounds a lot like people today, right? When we think of things such as social media and selfies and technology, these are all means and tools to praise ourselves and put our own ways above God's. The root word of vanity is the word vain. Similar to the definition of vanity, it means excessive opinion of self-appearance, abilities, or worth. But vain also has a second meaning, which is producing no results, uselessness. Isn't it funny how the world promotes self? Do this for yourself. Love on yourself excessively. Focus on yourself. Uplift yourself. Do bad all by yourself. But it does not tell you it's all useless. There is nothing to gain from self-idolization. Self-idolization is a tactic from Satan, because if he can persuade you to put your standards, your ideologies, and your desires above God's, then you are unknowingly saying, I don't need God. And if you don't need God, you will remain separated from Him for eternity. So, why is vanity so useless? Why does self-idolization bring destruction to your life? The answer is simple. No matter what you do on this earth for yourself, it will always be temporary. All your accomplishments, your beauty, wisdom, finances, or whatever you do or have to idolize yourself is constrained in the time frame you have on this earth. When you die and face judgment, the things you have or did on this earth for yourself is not going with you. Even while on earth, the things you do will only last for a season. But the things you do for God and the way you love on others will remain for generations. The Bible is filled with scripture about not idolizing self and possessions, and to be sacrificial and loving towards others like Jesus. But it is the book of Ecclesiastes that really dives deep into understanding the vein of vanity, the types of vanity, and the healthy, God-fearing, selfless life we ought to live. The first thing this book says is that everything is vanity. Everything is useless. Then it says in every chapter, usually at the end, that vanity is madness, folly, and or striving after the wind. Basically saying vanity is pointless and silly because it's the consistent trying to capture something that can never be captured or obtaining it fully. You'll never be satisfied, trying to self-idolize, self-please, because there is nothing in this world that can fulfill us like Jesus. Jesus is the only one who can fulfill that empty void that self-pleasing can never. John 6:35. The following are forms of vanity. Earthly wisdom. This is usually egotistical wisdom, a know-it-all, too smart for another's opinion, too smart for their own good. Wisdom that makes you feel more superior than others, and usually lacks godly wisdom. Also, people who exercise this usually think they're better and smarter than God. Ecclesiastes 1:12 through 18. Self-indulgence. Overstimulating yourself. Selfishness. Overly stimulated with things, concepts, or people, and not things of God or God. usually deals with addiction. Ecclesiastes 2, 1 through 11. Another form of vanity is excessive working or toil, idolizing work, goals, and business, usually driven by money and the desire for recognition. Taking on too much that you don't need to handle. Ecclesiastes 2, 17 through 26. The Bible also talks about how we ought to work hard for the Lord and not for self-gratification, which means through men. So that means trying to gratify ourselves or trying to have other people praise us by pleasing them. This can be found in Colossians 3, verses 23. Some other common forms of vanity are excessive beautification, the love of money and possessions, and unhealthy competition, which can all be delegated as part of the other three examples. So what does the Bible say on how to live our lives so that we don't live in vain? How do we live a fulfilling, meaningful life that's also healthy? It's honestly simple. Fear God and keep His commandments. Ecclesiastes 12, verses 13 through 14. And it also states in Mark 12, 30 through 31, and all the other Gospels, to love God and to love your neighbor. Those are the two greatest commandments. And if we do these things, ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing that can be done in vain. Because as I said before, the things you do for yourself pass away with you, but what you do for God and how you love on others will remain for generations.